Now, from the downtown of Northwest Arkansas, in Uptown Rogers, with weather from Bentonville to Fayetteville, Fort Smith, and beyond, here's Oz weather meteorologist, Garrett Lewis.
You guys hear it was going to snow today? Man, I went outside. It's coming down like crazy. Talked to my in-laws over in the east side of Fort Smith. Lots of snow already. Everything that's falling is sticking, and it's sticking pretty fast. What are you doing on this snow day? I drove by Walmart. It looked psychotic. There were people everywhere. Everybody's got to hit that bread and milk to last 24 hours. Because the road should clear up by the weekend, hopefully. We are going to get a lot of snow, though. But the good thing about snow is when you get snow, only instead of freezing rain and ice and sleet and all that and other stuff, it's easier for the highway department to clean it off the roads. They're able to pre-treat them and they're able to scrape them. You better watch out for the refreezing overnight, though. We'll find out what happens with that tomorrow night. But the road's expected to be, well, essentially trash for this evening and for most of the day tomorrow, with improving conditions late Friday, probably into Saturday as well. If you have some air travel planned, a lot of them have some waivers on change. I talked to my mom. She's planning on flying out on Saturday morning. I think by Saturday morning, though, she's headed out to Dallas. Dallas may still have some backups, but overall, the runway equipment that XNA uses and really all airports use, they can clear those runways pretty quick. The thing that'll mess them up is the visibility and heavy, heavy snow. They can't see where they're going. They're not going to take off. So if the snow moves out and they clear the runway, you should be in good shape. Now, one of the tricks I do is track those inbound flights that are coming in to see where your plane's at. If your plane's coming in from like Dallas or coming in from one of the harder hit areas, you might not make it. We'll see how that goes. Let's talk about what's happening, though, and then what happens next. It's 3 o'clock, and if you're wondering, should I be at work? I probably should, but I did take a half day today. So using a little bit of PTO, and we got the kids out of school. My daughter's in 3rd grade. My son's in 7th grade. He's tall. He's like 5'5" already. It's nuts. Anyway, I went and picked them up. It was crazy, and brought them home. And then, have you guys heard of Fun Delivered? So my wife found this thing. I think she found it on TikTok. But basically, you go to this website. You pay I think it's like $70, but you get a box, and it's just refused mail. So there were like 7 packages we opened, and one was a wig. One was plants that had juicy on them. One was a video doorbell. Another were body shapers, which I don't think are going to fit me. One was underwear. And then one was a coloring book. And then a couple of Wi-Fi antennas. We just didn't know what they were. It was kind of fun. Anyway, yeah. The junk you buy sometimes, right? So we did that when I got home, and here lately I've actually got to clean the weather room up. There's Christmas stuff over there. That stuff's got to go in the attic, and then the dogs are going to enjoy going outside too. So hopefully you've got some snow day plans. It'd be a good day for some chili, maybe sitting with or across the fire, get some firewood going. It's going to be a lot of snow. The whole area gets snow. We're already seeing it in Fort Smith, and we're just now seeing it in Northwest Arkansas. So let's talk about what happens now and what happens next. You are looking live. This is eastbound on I-40. That's about the way station. Now, I grew up, just if you keep going down that road and you go to the left, that was the old Garrett house back in the day. Van Alma area. I grew up in Alma. So, that road I-40 gets pretty slow. Look how slow it's moving. Oh my goodness. You can't say, stay home, stay home. Whether people do, stay home. You can't stay home. Some people have to go to work. Hospital workers, police. There are essential jobs out there where you got to go to work. So here's the thing. Check iDrive early and give yourself plenty of time. You can get to where you're going. It's snow. It's not as bad as ice or freezing rain or sleet or any of that stuff, but it is going to be slow. So take it really slow on the roadways. Have your cell phone charged. I'd probably throw some snacks in there too, in case you get stuck in that, which is just not moving hardly at all. All right, what are we doing now? This is a live look at temperatures and rain. It's hard to see the temperatures, though, because of all the plots that are on there. Let me see if I can clean that up for you real quick and just show you what's going on. So these are the actual air temperatures. You can see why it's freezing on contact. We're 28 out towards Bentonville, 29 in Fayetteville, 29 in Fort Smith. There's no difference between north and south from Fayetteville to Fort Smith. I say this all the time. People think I'm crazy. But usually there's only a 3 to 5 degree difference at most between Fayetteville and Fort Smith. But most people act like it's separate planets from Fort Smith to Fayetteville. It's not. I mean, the whole thing, if you look at it, cut Arkansas into fourths, it's all in the 4th part of the state. So we're all getting the snow. This low is actually tracking more south, though. I'll show you what that means. Because the low's tracking south, we actually get snow farther south. Typically, these low pressure systems will track a little farther north. Matter of fact, let me see if I can just pull that up for you, perhaps, and see what's going on. That's the radar data. This is the analyst that shows the rain that's moving through down to the south, and of course the heavy snowfall. I don't have the snow filter on this. You want to look at, actually, let's look at this first, and then let's go over to the radar source that cleans it up a little bit more. So we'll stop the radar. This is where we are now. Some storm reports already coming in. Charleston, you guys have already picked up 2 inches of snow. It looks like Ozark's about 1.5 inches. What do we got down south? Ooh, look at that. That's around McCurtain, Oklahoma. 4 big inches and a lot more coming up later on tonight. Those are the current snow reports. You can also see where the heavy bands are setting up. So as of right now, there's a band that runs from Fayetteville out to Huntsville. I'm sure this is dropping some pretty heavy snow right now from Fayetteville east on 412. And we've got a heavier band around Clarksville. You guys in Clarksville are getting slammed right now. I wonder if I can pull up an iDrive cam out around Clarksville, because it'd be interesting to see just how much it's coming down. I suspect it's quite a bit, and it's probably looking like a whiteout in some parts of Clarksville. Let me see if I can pull this thing up here. Oh, there we go. I'm looking eastbound. This is exit 58. Not sure if I can make it full screen. I wonder if too many people are on the website right now. Maybe we'll look at exit 57. Yeah, 57 loads. Let's take a look at it. This is looking live out there towards Clarksville. And yeah, this is inside the heavy snow band. So you have some rainfall and that's or snowfall that's coming down here. And look at the highway. 40 is just completely covered, isn't it? Again, that's looking east, but you can pass. I mean, the cars are moving. They're just not moving very fast. Winter storm warnings are in effect for nearly the entire state of Arkansas. There's just like 2 or 3 counties in the southeast part of the state that are not under a winter warning. So all of us are under some kind of winter weather warning or winter weather advisory. Backing on out, you can see another heavy band. That heavy band in Clarksville actually goes back down through Booneville and Paris out towards Chisholmville and Washburn. It's been coming down really good in Fort Smith, still coming down, and we're just now seeing that rain, or heavy, I keep saying rain, that heavy snow making its way up. You can tell it's been a while since I've tracked some snowfall, right? So you have some snow that's out there right now. Matter of fact, I think we can go to Rogers. Let me see here. My good friend David Latanzia's got one set up. That's not it. Let's see if it's another button here. And I'll be able to show you what's going on as far as the snow goes in the Rogers area. Let's see if this button does it. There we go. Looking live out there towards I think it's out towards Shadow Valley near 112. Boy, the golf course already covered up. Got a lot of snow that's coming down in Rogers, but you can tell when you saw Clarksville a second ago, it's not nearly as nuts in Rogers as it is farther to the south. It will be later tonight, but as of right now, it's not. You've just got a lot of heavy snow that's coming down in the Fort Smith area that's working its way north. So with that being said, let's go over to it. This is a look at the radar. May turn on the winter weather filter here. Let's see here. Nah, let's leave it at this. This shows a better. It depicts it as rain, which is probably why I'm saying it is rain. But really, it's the overall no, and you can see the little pixels. Actually, you know what I want to do though? I want to go to their composite view, because I think this is going to show us what's on deck for us. So this is a wide view here, and this is looking out across Oklahoma and Arkansas. So you can see Fayetteville and Fort Smith. Look at this slug of moisture around Dallas. Man, Dallas is getting clobbered. You think we freak out when it snows? Go down to Dallas, Fort Worth. First of all, they don't know how to drive anyway in Dallas. And then you throw something on the road, whether it's water or snow, and everybody crashes. So the Dallas Fort Worth area is going to have experience some pretty big delays as far as travel goes, not only on the air, but on the ground due to the heavy snow. So that slug of moisture that's down there around Plano and McKinney is going to work north up towards Fort Smith. That's after 8 o'clock tonight. So all of that is going to increase the snow totals. Keep in mind, there's already 4 inches that fell in McCurtain. We're going to pick up another 4 out of this at least. So there's some places in southeast Oklahoma that probably top out. Yikes. Well, probably somewhere close to about 8 inches in the Ouachitas. No, isn't that nuts? We rarely get that much snow in a winter weather event here, but you can see that slug of moisture that's starting to work its way up, and we are going to be getting quite a bit more that's out there. Now, the dogs are probably loving it if they're outside. I've let mine out in intervals. You can't let them out too long because they go a little bit crazy and start eating literally everything that we have. But what I can do is perhaps pull this up for you here. Let me see if this one does it. Yeah, there you go. That's looking live. I put the one of those outdoor ring antennas on the satellite thing. So this is outside of our house, and that's looking towards the west. And you can see the snow that's coming down there. So a lot more snow is going to be building up. Looks like I got it on the roof too. I probably should have cleaned the gutters out. You can't see it because of the banner, but I haven't done that yet. So I'll be doing that. We've also got a hot tub. So I just checked the chlorine. That's going to be phenomenal. You guys got a hot tub yet? When you start talking about like 20 degrees or 8 degrees or 5, man, that thing's phenomenal. Except for when your hair freezes. That happens to me from time to time, and I think I got frostbite on my cheeks the other night, but it is what it is. So let's talk about what's happening as far as what's going to happen. So this is a look at radar, and this is where we were earlier today as the snow moved in. This is simulated radar on the North American model. So I'm going to step you through time here. Why don't we go ahead and stop at, what do you say, 6 o'clock? Let's see what it looks like at 6. We'll jog through here with there's 6. So you can see the heavier snow still underway. Keep in mind, 3:30 now, so it does get heavier than what we're seeing right now. And you can see how farther to the north there's a little bit more gaps. This isn't a snow event that affects the north as much as it affects the south. The rain snow line is down there around southeast Oklahoma and parts of northeast Texas. Let's jump ahead to midnight, see what midnight looks like. Good grief. Oh, look at Fort Smith. I mean, you're talking some pretty heavy snowfall rates there. You've got snow falling from Bella Vista and Bentonville, Rogers, back down through Fort Smith and Mena. The rain snow line is just south of DeQueen there, and it looks like Hot Springs is going to be under the snow there. Hot Springs should get a lot of snow out of this. There's a little area right in there that probably gets some of the ridiculous totals. And the rain snow line, typically the rain snow line floats somewhere between Fayetteville and Fort Smith. This one's actually pushed farther south, just south of Hot Springs. Pine Bluff looks like it's rain, at least for midnight. Now let's go ahead and look at, what do you think, 3 in the morning? Let's look at 3 in the morning. There's 3. Guess what? It's still snowing. Lighter snow in North Benton County, heavier snow in Polk County, and the back edge starting to work its way in at 3 a.m. And then going into 12 Zulu, which is 6 in the morning. We're still getting snow tomorrow morning. And then when does it leave? There's the dry slot working in. This is 17 Zulu. This is between 10 and 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I think 10, 11 a.m. tomorrow is when we finally start seeing this stuff clear on out from west to east. And then we get into some chilly overnight lows. I wonder if I can pull up the overnight low temperatures on the fly real quick. Let's see here. Let's see. 6-hour mins, 24-hour mins, right there. That's overnight low temperatures going into Friday and Saturday, 20s, snowpack, and I think it's going to be colder than that. The models just, they don't handle this. I think we're probably going to see some teens. And the reason is what happens is when you get this snowfall, it really piles up on the ground and you end up with the radiational cooling and lows get super cold at night. Really, really cold, colder than any of the models forecast. The models all suck with weather, especially winter weather, because what's happening is, and I noticed this in Rogers earlier today, there was all kinds of junk on the radar. Nothing was hitting the ground. So the models are counting everything that's falling and evaporating, really subliming, but everything that's falling and disappears because of the dry air, they count it as accumulated snow, but it's not, right? It evaporated. So snowfall totals are often inflated in the area, and most of the good meteorologists here know to cut them down whenever the models are spitting out like 8 or 10 inches. Realistically, it's closer to about 6, depending on what the atmosphere looks like. There's something called the wet bulb temperature. When you get the condensation, you get those snowflakes to form, and the atmosphere has to wet bulb out before it starts snowing, which it has done just about everywhere across northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, central Arkansas, South Arkansas, just about everywhere you go. So as it stands now, we are under a winter storm warning. That includes Bella Vista, Bentonville, Rogers, just about everybody's under the warning. That warning, again, is going to continue for the overnight and at least most of the day tomorrow as this stuff starts to taper on off from west to east. Again, there's a wide view of this. Let me zoom on out here. You can kind of get a feel for it. See back down to the south, southwest. That's where a lot of this stuff is ongoing. I'm going to try to pull up real quickly here. I think I want to see if I can pull up the model data on a different source here. Let's see here. It's not that one. It's this one. All right, so here we are with the snowfall, and the time on this is midnight tonight. So you can see the heavy snow that's still coming down. I'm going to back out of this real quick just to show you guys what's causing it. See this low pressure center here? Low pressure spins counterclockwise and high pressure spins clockwise. So you know what's happened out in California is you got that pressure gradient between low and high, and you have these winds coming off the Santa Ana's Santa Ana winds blowing into the valley, just caused it's crazy amounts of fire out west, but it's all due to the same system. You can see the trough that runs up through here. So this is the trough, there's the low, and when that ripple moves through, everything stops. So this is midnight, but watch what happens during the overnight, and we'll skip ahead to 6 in the morning. It's still snowing, but you're starting to get some dry air that's working in from the south, southwest. And then as we move into noon tomorrow, the dry slot really works its way in. Models don't understand the dry slot either. It typically arrives much earlier than the models indicate. So this is noon. I bet you most of it's gone by about 10 tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier. So it should move out fairly quick with this stuff that's moving through. That's North American model. Let me look at the HRRR or HR cubed. This one goes through, when's the last time frame on this? This is about 1 a.m. So you can see the snow starting to make its way in now. This is 6 o'clock tonight. Should have some good banding around Poto and Fort Smith and also the Boonville area. And then heading into about 9 o'clock, you've got some heavy banding that's ongoing around Siloam Springs and Fayetteville with light to moderate snow in Rogers and Fayetteville and Fort Smith, Greenwood, with heavier snow from Worcester to Waldron and back down to the south. And then as we head to about midnight or so, let's just go to 1 in the morning. Pretty much everybody's getting heavy snow. I think overnight is really when it really comes down, and that's when we're really going to get hit with quite a bit in the way of snowfall across the area. You probably know because everybody's been talking about this for like 3 or 4 days, but the roads are trash and they're going to get worse. They probably do get better during the afternoon on Friday. All you got to do is add sunlight, and even if it's below freezing, the sun will warm the ground above freezing, especially asphalt. So when that happens, the roads actually could get better during the second half of the day Friday, and certainly by Saturday, despite the fact that not only will it be cold and below freezing in many areas, but they were able to pre-treat the roads and the highway department's out just scraping and doing all they can to get all this stuff cleared out of the area. But I think road conditions will improve hopefully faster than most of us expect, simply due to this weather event being all snow and them being able to pre-treat it. Right now, it's just not good. This is mile marker 22 that's out there, and it looks very, very snowy. Matter of fact, look at that. It's just hard to go on the road. They're down to one lane here in the River Valley, and that's probably going to be the case through the overnight. So sure, you can get to where you're going. It's just going to take a long time to get there. People always say, is it safe to drive? I don't know. When I was in TV, they made me drive everywhere. I was driving in like a foot of snow, and it may have taken 2 hours to get there, but we got there. So if you've got the skill set and you know how to do it, is that a plow? Let's look. Is that just a bozo? That is a bozo. You got to watch out for jack wagons too, because people are going to be putting their cruise control on ice and then going way too fast, like that dude was. We'll find him in the ditch later, but you know, tow truck drivers, they live for this stuff. They've been waiting for this all week. They'll be pulling people out of the ditch left and right, making a pretty good profit out of it too. And it's because of idiots that drive too fast on the roads, like that dude. Because you probably should be driving about that fast, super slow, not going too fast, and that's going to be the overall trend here for us as you go into the overnight hours with that heavy snow that's falling. It's a good snow. My kids are out of school. Your kids probably out of school too. I know they canceled for tomorrow too. Good thing. Made a good call simply due to all the heavy snow that's out there. I don't think it's going to get any better. Tomorrow morning is going to be really bad too on the roads. So if you do have to go out in the morning, keep that in mind. What does it TV people say? If you don't have to go out, don't go out. Like I ever go outside of the house when I don't have to go out. I always wanted to say that and never could. We aren't allowed in TV to tell people to stay home. They even when I remember one time the highway department said, or the state police told me, please tell people to stay home. And I said, stay home. And they all lost their mind. We can't stay home. Advertisers want to sell cars. I mean, you want to go driving that? Be my guest. All I know is later this evening, we're probably going to cook something. We've got, what do we have? Pork tenderloin in the crock pot. Tonight's Ashley's night to cook. You saw me last night. I was doing the burgers, which are awesome. You know, you can get that steak at Sam's. It's really awesome. So are the hamburgers too. So that's what I was cooking with Sam's hamburgers last night. Those Angus ones, amazing. So anyway, I'll be watching the weather here. I may jump back on later tonight. I don't know. I'm part of the HOA here in my neighborhood, which was the biggest mistake of my life because everybody complains about dog poop and everything else. We have a meeting tonight, at least we're supposed to. So we'll see how that goes. I can't use the roads as an excuse because it's just a couple streets over. So I'll probably have to go. But anyway, that's about all that's going on. A good night to put on a movie, start the fire, maybe enjoy some comfortable winter weather. We didn't get it for Christmas, but boy, oh boy, did we get it for January, right? The biggest snow that we've had in a long time, with about 4 to 6 inches expected across all of our region. That's Fayetteville south into Fort Smith, and about 8 inches or more expected in central and south Arkansas later tonight. Again, the heaviest is probably going to fall overnight into the first part of the day for tomorrow. So there you have it. That's what's going on. It's snowing all across the area. Stay warm, stay safe. The kids are going to love this stuff. They're going to be able to sled in it tomorrow. Make some snowmen, snow angels, snow this, snow that. Watch out for the yellow snow. But overall, I think it's going to be a great winter weather event for many of the kids that are out there and out of school, having their snow day either today or tomorrow, or both in many cases. That's going to do it for me. I'll jump back on if anything important happens. But right now, the snow is falling, and it's going to continue through the evening, the overnight, first part of the day tomorrow. Expect roads to improve somewhat later in the day Friday, and then probably a lot more on Saturday. And then this snow should come to a close sometime mid-morning tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier than that. But if you do go out, be careful. There's a lot of crazy people on the roads, and the roads are slick. The ground's been frozen for days, so everything that falls is pretty much sticking on contact. Enjoy some good family time. Hopefully you got some chili. I should have done that today. And then I'll see you guys here back next time when I do another credit. Maybe we'll do it later tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow when we get the snowfall system moving out. We can take a look at what's happening for overnight lows and then what's coming our way for next week. I did look at the extended trend, and it looked like about 10 days out, we start warming up in the 50s. So I think there is a little bit of warming and maybe a light at the end of this frigid cold tunnel that we've been stuck in for the last several days. I'll catch you guys back here next time. See you then.